Hey there. Good evening from Area 51 Raceway, and we got Harry joining us here. There we are.
Here.
So Harry just made it, and give me a sec here. I'm going to add him and assign him to this window. How's everybody doing? You hear us, Harry? I hear a cuckoo clock.
Yep, my clock's going off. Sorry.
That's all right. Let's see why it's not coming on here. So, Harry, can you hear us?
Hello.
I kind of hear him, but then I don't.
I don't hear. I heard a little something.
Yeah, I hear him a little, but there's no camera going through. Boy, what's going on here? Can't get that. So, guys, sorry again, technical difficulties. I'm trying to get Harry onto this screen, but guest is in green room.
Hey, everybody.
Hope you're doing good. And let me see. Let me remove from green room. There you go, Harry. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can
Okay.
now.
Sorry,
There
that's
you go.
on me.
I hear you now.
That was on me.
Oh,
I can't seem
all
to
right,
assign
cool.
Harry a window here. I don't know why.
All right, are we? Can you see me?
Yeah, we can see you. Hold on, I'm trying to add you here, and it's being difficult for some
Does it
reason.
have the?
It doesn't
It
want
should be
to.
showing the back camera there. The
Yep.
workbench, the mess.
Yep. You can see it there. Trying to get you loaded.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I can't see anybody else right now, but
so
that's okay.
hold on, guys. Again, I'm trying to get Harry loaded on here, and what?
The aliens are messing with us tonight.
Yeah, here it is. Finally. Gosh, there we go. There we go. There's Harry's bench there. So welcome to the Monday nights at Area 51. We, as promised, we're going to talk about or show what we do to build a mod chassis, because a modified chassis is something that's somewhat intimidating when you hear it. It's actually a real simple chassis. Strange Brew, there is a series for the Home Racing World proxy, which is called the Strange Brew series, and that is the modified cars. And you can achieve this with getting a AMT 32 Ford, and that's a plastic model kit available, and you could cut the hood on that, and there you go. And there's one on my bench there, a red one, and make it into a modified. So not very hard to do, pretty simple. So, but anyways, let me go through the chat here and see. We got Chris. Chris, happy birthday! I heard it's your birthday today. Happy birthday, to you,
Happy
sir.
birthday, Chris.
There you go, Stock Car Wildman. We got Jeff G, Pistol Pete, and we have Gene. How you doing, Gene? Gene's here tonight. Jeff G, Stock Car Journal. How you doing? Welcome, Tad. And who else we got here? John Tucci. All right, John's in the house. John's already built the car, so this should be pretty easy for him. And who else we got? Michael Squire, who's already built quite a few of them already, I think. Especially the Hello Kitty one that kicks butt. And then we have Soccer Dojo. How you doing? And then we have Gary. How you doing, Gary Dunmore? And I think I've got James Frillman has just joined us. How you doing, James? Thanks for joining. Appreciate that for joining us here. And in DNA Slot Cars, we just saw their live a moment ago, which is pretty cool on the little BRM cars. So welcome, everyone. If you guys have questions, just put a Q on it so we can answer everything. And Harry, you can see Harry's got two of those. One is that 32 model kit, that one right there, right, Harry?
Yep, this is the one that we did the video on, the 32 and 32. That's the AMT kit right there.
See, and that's pretty badass. That thing's cool. And again, we'll show you how to kind of put one together. It's not very hard.
Yeah, real simple.
Real simple. Dave's done quite a few of them. Dave's a modified master, I think, out of all of us. He's done more modifieds than we have. But so
I'm gonna adjust my camera now so you guys don't have to look at me anymore. I'm sure nobody wants to look at my face. They want to see what I'm doing, so I'll put this up here.
All right, Dave's gonna put his camera down. All right. So when you start building these in your first timer, the one tool you will need, you don't have to get all the little things that I have on there. There's setup wheels. There's some ejector pins, we call them. You could use your existing axles you buy. And this is just later on if you really get into it and you start accumulating tools to, put the car together. There are some basic tools you will need. Pliers, that soldering board, a soldering iron. Solder, flux. Um, you're gonna need a gear press tool. It's this kind of a commitment. I can only tell you one thing. From all the people some of the guys that are in here that have done it once, they end up doing it again. And you could ask Marty that too, because he's mentioned it. It becomes addicting, and it becomes really a accomplishment and achievement, because you look at that and you see it go down the track, and your impression is that, wow, I actually built that. And that's the whole idea behind scratch building. And it's also that you could build any car you want. You do not delegate it by the factory cars that they only make this model. You could make anything you want. So I mean, it's a big imagination thing and a big creativity that comes out of that. So, but
Absolutely.
anyways, so what do you got there, Harry?
Huh? Oh, I was just piddling around. Like I said, this is just the car and a basic chassis, and I did a little video on how to build it, but it's just a simple little job, so to speak. Just really uncomplicated, as you guys will find out soon. George and Dave are going to show you what their builds there, but yeah, and it'll go fast.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
what's that? 80? That's 8151 brass, or is it just piano wire 2 and brass? Or
Oh, and it's piano wire, brass,
mm-hmm.
and 8151.
Okay, so a combination
So,
of things.
let me go get the brass here. 8150. 8150 is actually what I used. A little bit
Okay,
smaller. A little bit
gotcha.
smaller for the rail.
Is
For
that
the
the
rail
eighth inch
there.
stuff, Harry?
332nd.
Yeah, okay, I think that's what I use too. Mine's ripped out of the package, and I don't have it here, so I can't tell you.
Right. It. This is smaller. 332nd. Um, tubing. The square tubing right there.
Right,
And
I like
then
the square tubing better than piano wire, but that's just my preference.
Yeah, it's up to the builder what you want. You could do anything. Welcome Stock Car Hub and B2 to the chat, to the live stream here. So this is
well
basically
the
my first one was this one, Harry, that I built, and this was just
right.
piano wire. It's basically just two pieces of piano wire on a rail, and I just
Right.
attached another thinner brass because it's easier to bend at the time. And then this is a Cobra guide tongue, not a it wasn't
Right.
got from Stock Car, early ones, and it's just a commercial guide on it. And the bodies don't need any float. And there's an example one. You basically just bolt the body on, and it doesn't need to float because there's no need for floating bodies on modified cars.
Right. Right. So this car here back in the 1981, I pit crewed on this car at our local speedway, and you can see right here that the frame is what you call a Z, and it's welded rail, and then another piece of frame, and then another welded rail going that way, making the Z, and that's exactly what this frame rail mimics, that design. So it kind of mimics, in a way, the car that we built back then at in the modified series. So, but
Cool.
yeah, I'll get let me get up here, and I'll move the camera, and we'll keep them racing. I'm out here playing with this net. I don't need to play with that. I need to play with the modified. So, yeah, I've got quite a mess down here. So, as usual.
The typical length of these cars are what, like about 4 inches or 3.5 inches, I think.
Yeah, it's they, let me put this here.
So what I have here is 3/32 piano wire. I'm going to make one out of just the rails out of this, and then I'll just mark 4 inches. And I can always chop off what I don't need.
Wheelbase is typically right there about 3.5. Depending on your bumper your design there, but this is coming out right at about 5 1/4 at the front bumper. So there's your measurement right there.
Okay, cool. Yep, that's it. And when I do the cut, I use these huge things because you need something real big for this type of really thick wire because you ain't gonna, unless you get a Dremel, you can do it, but you can see I popped it right there. There's one piece. I'll get one the same length and cut it. Mark it.
Yes.
This one may be a little shorter, but
I should have done this, but I was late. I was late getting here, guys. So
no problem.
leave it to me.
So there's your rails. So what I got here, and this is just set up wheels and axle stoppers. Again, you could use the existing axles too if you're going to do it.
I have an
What are we
echo.
gonna do? No, I don't hear an echo.
I do. I hear. Yeah, you're echoing, boss.
Well, so are you right there.
Do you have your Are you watching it live on YouTube?
I don't think so. Um, unless it says you're in the broadcast. Mine says guest eCam live. I only see my camera and George. I don't see the rest of you.
Yeah, I don't see you either. But do you have YouTube playing in the background so you can see the comments?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that
Then
why?
Just lower the volume.
Or just mute it. Yeah.
Oh. How's that? Right.
Perfect.
That'll work. Okay, there's the echoes. No big deal.
Is that better?
Yep,
Yeah.
that worked.
Okay. I'm not echoing anymore. Okay.
Guys, just give us a quick check. PBP, what is the formal name of the modified racing series, and about what years was it run? Harry, you have that knowledge for sure on that one.
Oh, it's just it's all in the rules there. It's just the Strange Brew modified series, and the years are pretty wide open as far as what model kits you can use. It was just based on the cars we ran back in the 70s and 80s, like this car here. This is just one I just showed that. But yet, that's well, we have the rules page that gives you all the parameters. So, for that.
Pretty much any body you want that you can chop up into a modified.
He could be also asking about what the actual history of it too, though. That's what it sounds like. Is that what you mean, PBP? That's the screen username of this person.
Well, I mean, it's just basically, basically ran from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. I raced a modified, and I pit crewed on a modified, like this car here that I was just showing, just out of Illinois that we raced. So
There's still a horrible echo there somewhere.
now you have an echo, but I don't.
Okay, well mine is muted, so
I hear you. You have an echo, but the only camera I see is George. I don't see you or anybody else.
I know I'm not getting feedback here because I'm only on one mic. So let me do this. Hold on a second. Let me switch mics here. Maybe it's me.
You don't have an echo. I don't hear any problem there.
Okay,
yeah, I don't
guys,
hear
how about
no.
now? Is that better?
No, that's worse.
Is it?
Now it's better. George, you don't have an echo. Only me and Harry do, so that's weird.
Well, now Dave, now you sound a lot better.
Yeah, now you do too, Harry. No echo now.
Okay.
Okay, good.
We'll leave it as
All right, groovy.
So.
How many cars did I race? I raced 3 different cars. A Vega, and then I raced a '64 Impala in the Bomber Series, as we called it, the Bomber Sportsman Series, and Pinto for like a month. Yep. So
Here,
that's
guys,
what I.
we're sort of dealing with these just because they're readily available. You guys can get them. 32 Ford. That was the
Right.
AMT kit, right? Is that what it is? 132nd
Yeah.
scale.
Yeah. It's the
And,
AMT little scale stars, whatever.
and then if you
Same.
want to, if you wanted to build a coach instead, you know, or a sedan, this car is still readily available. 34 Ford sedan. You can
Right.
still find these all over eBay, and they're not expensive, cheap, under $20 or under. So there's a couple of
All right.
options for you. You know, if you wanted to build a late model type car, there's, you know, this is a resin casting of an old Carrera body for the Chevy Chevelle. Now you couldn't use it the way it is, but you cut the front end of this thing off and hog it out really, you know, big and chop it up. You've got a modified car. Put a flat firewall in it, and yeah, there's so a lot of model kits. Anything, anything you can just, you know, figure out, anything you can, your heart's desire. If you can find a 132 car, you can make a modified out of it. This is a public. I'm going to use this body. I always go for the old cars. You know, these are my favorite.
You guys hear me from because I have the mic all the way over there.
Yeah, I can hear you.
So what I'm doing is just making the tube for the rear axle, getting rid of the chamfer on the blade.
Yeah, this is the F1 modified wheels. That's the Smokies barbecue car there.
Yeah, those are
And
great wheels for a modified.
yeah, I've this car has seen some action. It's kind of broken right now, but the rest of the body is still there. It still runs. It just doesn't look very good. But yeah, it's still. But look at that. I've been
That's one of
busting
the
it
ones
up.
in the
It's
picture too. That's
it's
pretty
it's
cool.
seen some racing.
Oh yeah, Michael Squire. Yeah, you'll modify anything. That's right, you guys. Michael Squire's cars are prime examples of modifieds. He's got. Uh, you did what, the Ford Falcon, and what else have you done, Michael? What's the other damn car? But it's, you know, that's why they're called a modified, because that's what they are. It is a modified car body. It's not, you don't just hog the wheel wells out and drop it on a chassis. There's not much of the original cars left, so um, that's why it's called a modified.
Yeah, here's one that Dave and I built years ago. This was the 24-hour coupe.
Oh yeah, the 24-hour coupe. Yep.
So we just we built it, and here's your basic. Doesn't have the right motor in it for the series, but it's got the old Hawk motor. But just again, it's just a basic chassis. Nothing fancy. Couple of rails,
Yep.
motor bracket, some bumpers, and on it goes.
Well, that's the thing with these cars. This chassis is just your starting point. You know, it's kind of like the a bare pallet. It's ready to do customize however you want. So, you know,
Right.
Nerf bars and bumpers and roll cages. If you want to add all that stuff, by all means, that's what makes them more interesting. But this is
Absolutely.
just the basic running chassis. That's all this is going to be.
Mm-hmm. So cars don't have the large motors in them. They're just
The
again
smaller
these are
ones.
just the Predator 18K in mine. So just
So
yeah.
so what Dave's doing there is explain that one, Dave. So if you that's the tube and tube method.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was making a tube and a tube and a tube here. It's if you're, let's say you don't want to spend money on bushings. You've already got all this brass, right? But you don't want to use for the rear bushings. This is the old school way before bushings were like available. but you'd use, and I don't know all the damn sizes, but this is the same axle tube that we use all the time. And then you just get the next size down and you slide it in, and then the next size down and you slide it in.
No.
Each
Yeah.
one is successively just a little bit longer than the last one so that you can solder it, because you're going to solder this all together. And what I do, so I don't have, so it's not a whole solid piece all the way through. This is the size for the axle itself. So now you slip one of those in there.
Right.
Shoot.
No, you can't. You can't use a beer can. Get a model kit body. Come on.
I think Jeff was being funny.
Yeah.
So here's what I cut. I did this with the tubing cutting. You were watching it. So
There's 32 Fords and 34 Fords and bodies out there, and you can find a body. They're not that expensive.
Here's 1.5. So what I've done is just kind of made a guesstimation. When you get the body, you can get the wheels. Basically, these are already done, but you just get the wheels and you get the axle.
Why is this fighting me?
Let's see.
There it is.
Oh, okay.
So,
there you go. He's putting something together. And Dave is putting. So I'm not building anything. I'm just playing.
Play on, Harry. Then we'll be doing kind of tightening it up with the body, and that's about perfect. Just sticking out. Modify this.
And you can shop and modify different bodies out there. Yeah. Finding the 32 Fords, the 34 Fords, everything. Just for example, you know, they're the same car, but you can build them different ways. So you still have your own variety and your own chassis to build. So, it's just an example. On the rules page, there's a lot of old resin bodies and stuff that Bruce made, but we don't have all of those available. But that's why he's talking about the scale stars or the snap tight Fords and stuff. Just get on eBay, you can find them, and you can find a model kit and take the fenders off, and you can narrow it and everything else. You just use your creativity. You can make a nice little car. But 32 Fords and stuff, they're really lightweight bodies. They make a really good race car. And back in the day, in the early jalopies, the 50s and 60s, I mean, you had basically almost all of them were the same cars, just different paint, different chassis designs. So you can use the kit if you want to, but this has the smaller, some of the smaller tube brass.
Right here, I'm making my rails and I'm putting my.
Okay. Yeah, I have. You can share the link to the 32 Ford I built in the series to give people an example. We have plenty of videos on how to put these together. Yeah. Especially if you like bar work. Yeah, right. Yeah, really. Yeah, 32 Fords, 34 Fords, old Chevys. I mean, you like I said, you can build the same car, and never come up with the same design, same chassis. You just make it different. I have 4 or 5 of these cars, these old coupes and stuff. It's just different paint, and then it comes down to your chassis design and making sure you have your tires trued. But at the end of the day, they're all pretty even come race day. And then when we race them and everything in combat, everything changes. You have the wrecks, the fun, the bumping, the smacking around, and after after the fast lap challenge, very rarely does the fastest car ever actually win the whole race. So it's more for fun and building than anything else.
I don't know if you
Mustang,
guys can see
notchback
that or not.
bodies, to cut up a electric body. Yeah, you can use you can use a lot of cars. Everything is in the rules link. You know.
Yeah,
I
Michael,
mean,
this is what I'm doing. I'm making the bushings here. Basically, you nest these four pieces of tubing together. They're just one size up from each other, and
mhm.
then you solder those together, and they slide through the axle bracket. Because when you're done, you're going to cut out the middle anyways, and most of the ends off of it too. So you'll just have a very small piece of all those parts nested together. You're making your own bushing, and they work great. We built 1 million cars with those things. And because I don't have any bushings, I didn't make an order to SCC. That's what this car is going to have.
What I'm doing
So,
here, you guys can hear me, right? Because I'm away from the microphone.
yeah, I can hear you, George.
Right. What I'm doing here is I'm just setting up my bracket. I usually put the motor in place. And I'll do is I'll just kind of measure
Here's
from
more.
into the
Here's a
bracket
couple
what I
more,
need.
but just using the old chassis. These are the old 32. This is the old snap tight kits that you can use, and they work very well. They make a good scratch build. Yeah, this one's locked up. Wow. Yeah, but the body works. I'll see if I can get a.
He's not
Automatic.
talking right now, Marty. That's why you can't hear him. He's just away from
Yeah,
his microphone.
yeah. He's over there building. He's making a chassis.
Yeah, he's probably got
Uh,
his done already, and we're over here screwing around.
yeah, I'm just racing. I'm not doing anything. Um, let's see here. Let me try to find. Trying to find some of the model kits on eBay. I mean, you can even use. Mark Thomas even used the Thunderbird here, and he took the fenders off, and he chopped the fenders off, and he actually narrowed the body and put it back together again. Made a modified out of that. But I'm a Chevy guy. Well, I you can build a Chevy and call it a Chevy. There wasn't very much difference between the body styles back then. So um, old coupes are old coupes. If you want to call it a Chevy, you can call it a Chevy if you want. Um, not much difference. Put a Chevy put a Chevy engine in front of it and call it a Chevy. You know. Not that big a deal.
All right, there we go. I had to mute you guys because I was using my Dremel. I didn't want to kill
We
everybody's
have
ears.
we have Chevys. This is a resin nomad. You know, you're only limited by your creativity. So build if you want to build a modified. Everything there is out there. There's model kits. There's the only thing stopping you is your creativity. You could take the same electric Camaro and chop it up and take the fenders off the front of it and make it make a Chevy. George's ready to yeah. He's soldering all right. He's getting something done.
Trying.
Matter of fact,
George
everybody's
always,
getting. He's always getting something done, isn't he?
yeah, that's what I was going to say. He's always ahead of us because
Oh
he's
yeah.
young and in his prime.
Hey, I'm not. I'm just here to. I'm just here to race the car. So there, you know. But yeah, that's you're only limited by your own creativity. If you research 60s and 70s, you know, dirt modifieds, there's so much history out there that's available. These cars, examples that you just even little metropolitans like Peru's shown. Just um, you can build just about anything if you set your mind to it.
Hey
But part of
George,
this, as
do you
far
have
as
a
building,
do you put a setup motor in your bracket when you're getting ready to do it all so you see where everything's at?
Yeah, I have one on there right now. I usually do that.
Yes. I do that too. I just wondering if you did the same way or not.
Yeah, I did. George will be ready to race in time and stuff. Well, I don't know
what did
about
he
that.
do?
Chris saying I'll be ready to race once he's done.
What did he build? I didn't see it. Oh.
Hey, what did we say the wheelbase is? 4 inches?
About 3.5 is normal. The wheelbase. The
Okay,
wheelbase.
3.5. All right. I just got to
So
make sure.
so here, let me bring the camera back over here. So here's the mat right here. So this is just an average on my build. See, so standard 3.5 is usually 32nd scale. In between 3.25, 3 and 3. But that's
Right.
the wheelbase right there.
All right. I just want to make sure
Yeah,
where I set everything right here.
right.
That's about right there.
Yeah, it's. But you can see with my design here that I have in this particular case, I have the axle here, radiators there, front axle, and then the guide comes out, and the guide is the commercial type guide, um, and it sticks out a little bit, and then I built a front bumper around it. That's just the way I did it on this particular case. But the wheelbase is right there, right dead on 3.5 actually.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm going to set mine for then. I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure that I'm within the rules here. Because I don't never,
Oh,
mine are always, I set my wheelbase. I normally don't put the front end on until I get the chassis all built, and then I set the body on whatever body I'm going to use. Because if I'm going to build a Model A, then the
right,
or a 32 or something else, that the wheelbase could be in or out. So
right. Yeah, yeah. They're all a little bit different. Just depends on that design. Let's see if I got that one there. And then this is an old one that we built, and it is just about dead on the money but you can see the front end design is different. I used a scale auto 32nd scale guide, and there's this guide. Um, then on this one here, it's a little bit shorter.
right, yeah,
So
it's all about
and then
aesthetics.
it's all about the sex. See, this one's even shorter. This is a 24-hour build that we did, and that's right around 3 inches right there. So, like you just said, it just you build it to kind of match the body. But see, notice how we tucked in the guide here, right?
Yeah, right,
So the guide is further back, right, and it's
yeah.
tucked in. Whereas I had this one stretched out just a little bit. So it's just all about your own design, the way you decide to do it.
I might wait too. I like the guy to be out a little bit ahead of the axle.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. Ideally, you would like to have that. Yes,
Especially
correct.
if it's going to have if there's going to be a radiator and all that stuff out there, then
Right,
yeah, I want the guide out there so it's out of the way of all that stuff.
right. That's kind of what I did here. Is I just painted it black. I just got and yeah, it's just to modify it. I mean, it doesn't. the guide is, yeah, it's visible. You can see it. That's just part of these cars, you know.
Right.
Um,
Yep.
it's just at speed they look wonderful, you know.
Yeah, I don't care if the guide's hanging out there. It's a slot car. It's supposed to have a guide.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
So I don't know if you guys can see it or not. I don't know if anybody's even watching this right now, but I'll show you what I got going on. You know, I get everything pinned out so it's straight. You guys can see I have all those lines on my board. I use those to line stuff up on. This this line here is for that's always where I set up my rear axle. And these are for some other cars that I build a lot of, and it just so happens that this particular line here is going to work. That's where I'm going to put my front axle. So
Oh,
I clean that all out, and then I'll solder that up solid, and then I'll build the
good.
rear end.
Can you pull the guide back when you're using H&R chassis? Well, H&R chassis is for the 124th for the land barge. I mean, you can if you want to. These are the 132. This is the one that Strange Brew built. I mean, if you want to pull the guide back, you can. Sure. I mean, that's your prerogative. If you want to bring a guide mount back further.
All right, there you go, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, there you go.
Did that right there. Quick. I was a little fast. It could have taken more time, but that's basically the start there. So, is any questions that came up? Because I haven't been keeping up with the chat, so I appreciate you guys.
I think Harry's keeping up.
Okay,
I was
cool.
going to show you guys this too. I get this question a million times. This is the flux I use.
Yeah,
and this is
clean, that's what I use too.
Until I'm dead and gone, and my kids will be using this.
Right. This is an old, just a resin Vega.
That's beautiful.
That Brew built. He just built this for me as a gift. Now
Brew builds some real good cars.
So I want to show you. You notice here, this is it has the engine in it, right? And we did the pipes. We used solder. We built it out of little resin engines or the snap tight engines that you can get. But in this case here, this is just printed on paper. There is no engine in there. It's simulated. See, it's just the side. It's just cardstock. See, look at that. So there is no 3D. There is no resin engine in there. It's just pieces of the engine printed on plastic, and then it's down, and it just looks like that. And
hello to everybody that's joined the chat. Sorry to interrupt you, Harry. I didn't. I've been keeping an eye on everybody, but I see Daryl. Welcome, Light Tech Slots. Did I miss anybody? If I did, I'm sorry. Oscar, how you doing, Oscar? It's like a cooking show on TV. George has one already built under the bench.
yeah,
Oscar.
Right.
Now, this is where we get into guides and the guide tongue. Remember, Dave, we were talking about that, the different guide tongues?
Yeah, I'm going to show mine. You show your way, because I'm doing it the same way.
So, I'm trying to avoid the echo, because if I do the camera phone, I don't know if it's going to echo. So you guys let me know. I'm going to go to my phone, the microphone on the phone, which is external. So, real check, do we hear an echo?
Nope.
No echo? All right, there's Swift Slots. How you doing, Swift Slots? So there's a lot of different ways to do the guides. I've done one with the Slot Car Corner gun tongue guide plate here, and I get 8129. And then what I use is the Slot Invasion guide for Revel slot cars, and the reason why is because of the way the bulkhead separates far away from the front of where the braids would go. And if you look at other ones like this Slotting Plus, how much closer it is. And what gives this an advantage, the Slot Invasion, is that when you put a tube in here, you have enough clearance for this to make the turn once you got the tube put in there. And I have a video where I did this in the scratch building section of Home Racing World. Now you see here's the Slotting Plus one. There's no room for that, and there's no way you could put this in there. There is a way you could use this one as well, but it requires a little bit more work. Or you could buy what's called a spigot, which I don't think they even have these in stock anymore. So I can't really say if they do. And then you'd have to cut a piece of, I think this is 8152, and you'd have to make your own kind of hole, holder like that. Or you could just really be precise, drill a hole, and then you'd have to round those edges off, and then you could create a guide tongue like that. Now, I know Dave has a different way of doing it, because he was telling me, which I didn't know, and he'll show you that one. Or you could use a commercial guide if you want to make it easier. I mean, some people don't want to go into that much depth. That's what this is for, a commercial guide. As you can see, that fits in there perfectly, and that's what some of these cars have. Here's an example of the chassis that I'm currently building, and as you can see, this has a commercial guide. And then I have only 2 points to mount the body. A piece of brass strip here, and this is made out of brass. I think this is 8151. If I'm not mistaken, could be smaller, I think. But and then I have a different guide tongue here, and this is basically just this is one for this Monza here. You see, I drilled holes and made Nerf bars for them, so you could do that too into the body, and it sits right there. And then the motor is right here, where I have a hole for it, and that's where the motor's going to sit. And there's basically what I have here is this. So, anyways, Dave, you got to show them your guide deal now. So
yeah, I will. I'm almost there. I'm soldering the guide tongue in right now.
Hurry up!
Oh. No. Yeah, what the hell is taking you so long?
Front axle, you could use a piece of brass tube or stack some, some 8151, I think it is, or 8152 on a 332nd axle. Or you can make a U. In this case, I did what I did actually was piano wire and looped it up. These are easy to bend, and you just solder a tube there. And that part's real important, so you want to make sure you have a micrometer, or a digital micrometer, to make sure that you have the same distance, from each wheel, the wheelbase, one's not crooked. That's how you do it to make sure that it's, square. So what you're doing,
corner
you
has the axles, the long axles.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean for the longer axles, like for setting it up on the...
Yeah, the wheelbase, to make sure that they're even.
The
Just
block.
get your caliper, make sure it's the same, on each end.
If you want,
you're good.
125th Cobra on an H&R chassis, and the guy is out in front of the grill. I wonder if I should drill a hole closer to the front of the axle. Yeah, you could if you want to tuck it in there and make it look better. That's fine. Hello, Daryl. How you guys doing?
Yeah, Daryl. Sorry I didn't say hi to you, buddy. You're here also.
If you want, if you want to use for the longer axles for the if you're talking about axles if you're talking about setup axles like on the block like this, you could just use the K&S 332nd piano wire. It doesn't have to be 100% accurate. You can just use that. We use some of these ejector pins that you can get on Amazon. You can use those anyway. But the 332nd, the super long ones, you could just cut them to fit if you want. Otherwise, Slugcar Corner has like the 65 millimeter wide axles, and they work just as well to pin out, to set your axle up on the board. That's wide enough.
All right, there's a basic chassis. I mean, just very, very basic, right? The motor bracket and the rails and the guide tongue. It doesn't get any simpler at all.
Hello, Anthony. How you doing? She said hello.
Yep, asbestos fingers, Michael. That's true. Yeah, you get burned enough times, it doesn't hurt much anymore. Yep, but there you go, guys. This motor, see, this is what I call a setup motor. It's just an old motor that I can use to set the cars up. That obviously, I mean, it still turns, but I wouldn't want to use it. It's all rusty now from all the flux getting on it and whatnot. But you don't want to do that to your actual motor you're going to put in your car, right? You don't want to mess it up like that. So keep the flux away from it. I just an old cruddy motor. Use it for a setup motor.
So if you do end up using the old motor and you need to clean the chassis, this is real important. You can see what I did here. I didn't clean this chassis. You see that green stuff? That is basically is from the flux. And what you could do is get Harry, CLR, vinegar, and baking soda, and you scrub the body down to neutralize the flux.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
you
I
can
just
get-
use lime away or just anything to clean it and just.
to clean it up before you put it together. That's really important. Otherwise, it'll turn your braids, kind of green, or the connection points.
Yeah,
Wire
right.
goes, and it'll get like
Little
a little
alien
green on
green.
it. Yeah, exactly. No, you don't want that alien green on there. That isn't good. I've done that before. I was like, what the heck did this come from? And then I realized what I was doing wrong. So it's good to clean it after you're done putting it together. And then you could polish it up too if you want little mothers and little light sanding. And it comes out nice and shiny.
So this is my way to do the guide. We've got, man, George, you know what size this stuff is. What size is that one?
81. What's that for the?
For the guide,
8129. I think that's what that is.
They don't have a slotting plus guide or a slotting. I don't have a slot invasion guide here. I got a slotting plus, but it works. This slot invasion guides for me are better, but this will work for tonight. But yeah, it's just the right size for the post. So what I do is then I make a little sleeve out of this. It's the same diameter tubing for the outside for the rear axle. It slides right over. That, I mean, it's I don't know if you guys can see that good or not. Just a little sleeve right on the end there. All right, so now what I'll do is a little flux. Oh, how the hell did that happen? Get that out of there. I melted my flux paintbrush.
Hey, Mark, welcome to the live. See Mark there, Clearwater. I'm sorry if I missed you guys. Steve Sweeney, how you doing? No, I didn't watch no Enduro video from NSR, Steve.
All right, so I don't know how that happened.
Got a question. Will the H&R chassis bolts loosen up?
All right.
Slaughter the halves together. So you could solder them together, but they should stay on there fine if you put a little Loctite on it. Because that's how I sent my Lamborghini to Harry without doing that. So, I mean, either or. If you're permanently going to leave the car that way, yeah, you could solder it. I don't see no harm in that whatsoever.
All right, so there you go. We got a little sleeve on the end here. We just hit it with some solder. There we go. So now that is it's just a little sleeve on the end here. I actually got way too much solder on there. You can just pull a little off. Comes off easy. There we go. It's better down the side. So now what you can do is you make it flush it off here at the end so it's all the same. It's going to get loud for a second. Okay, so there. So you just make it flush the end of it off. And now what you do is up through the bottom, push it up through the bottom of your guide tongue. You now have a guide, solder it here, and then you chop it off however length you want. And then when it comes time, once you get the wheels and everything all set, you'll have this little button on the bottom here that all you got to do is trim that off. Just a file or use your Dremel or whatever to set your guide height. And that's how you get the perfect guide height that way. Now I know that Slot Car Corner has these little spigots, they call them, but they're they're made by someone, and as far as I know, he doesn't make very many of them, so they don't really have them in stock very often. So I hate to recommend them, but this you can make yourself, and it works just as good,
Yep.
and it's a lot cheaper. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, cheap is good.
Heck yeah. Save money where you can.
Yeah, absolutely. Save your money and buy more wheels.
Yeah. Yeah. You need your jewelry.
That's right.
Yeah, there we go.
But,
Let's see if we can
but
get
yeah,
this up
so
to.
there you go.
There we go. Lap time stuff going on.
Yeah, Anthony, you can get the jig at Slot Car Corner. It's yeah,
By the
it's in the
jig that you
tool,
guys.
it's in the tool section, and then of
Yeah.
course it's under chassis jigs, so it's there. Yeah, I'm with you, Michael. I need a lot more brass too. I am running low on everything. But trying to keep up with George building all those damn cars, I ran out of everything.
Yeah. I can't keep up with that guy. It's like alien. It's alien tech.
Yeah, he's got all these little alien helpers over there cranking them out.
Yeah. Seeing what we got. I'm gonna. I've got this thing set for. Let me pop this up to.
I said, "Oh, we got that. I need to let me show you how to do this axle nest. We've already got it together here.
There we go. All right, 12 bolts. Yeah, 2794. That's pretty good lap time for out here with these little cars. It's the 18K Predator here. There we go. There's some things you want to invest in: quality axles, good wheels. You know, brass. Stretch building costs money, but no doubt about it. But then there are things that you can see little money saving on. So it never hurts.
Nope, saving money's a good thing.
Yeah. 2794.
You save money on brass, you can buy yourself a big gulp Slurpee.
Yeah. Don't tell me that. I miss that. I miss.
I know.
I miss the 7-Eleven and when I went out there the last time and but you can't get the Slurpee without getting the nachos.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
true. But I would trade because you have Casey's Pizza, and I would prefer that.
Right. I mean, in 1984, the magical science of scalding hot cheese coming out of a machine was amazing at 2
Yeah,
a.m. after a night drinking. Right.
it's still
So,
amazing.
yeah. Yeah.
There's nothing not amazing about it.
This man used to pump that stuff out of there. I'm like, here's 4 chips and a half pound of cheese to
Yeah,
go.
if you really wanted, you just pumped it into a cup and drank it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've seen some stuff, like the guys taking the cheese and they put it in a cup and then they grab a hot dog off the roller and dunk it in there. I'm like, what's wrong with you people?
Oh yeah, that's good. That is good stuff right there.
Yeah, I just had some pizza. It's pretty good. But yeah, I remember that's the one thing about 7-Eleven I miss, man, is used to do the big gulp and then the nachos. I'm like, oh, you know.
Yeah. Our
So
our
good.
7-Eleven is in a gas station up here, so it doesn't have the nacho stuff.
But
They, they don't
well,
sell any of the
now,
cooked food.
well, you remember when you came out here, and then the guys have, now we got these mega truck stops like Wally's and
Yeah,
and what's the other one now? Bucky's, right? Bucky's,
Bucky's.
you know,
You could live in
that,
Bucky's.
yeah, and then the Wally's is bigger than that we went to in St. Louis is bigger than Walmart, and I mean, they have their own beer, right? You know that it's good, and they're doing pork rinds right in front of you,
I know.
so
And you could live there, and they'd probably never find you.
right,
Chris, Chris, you can barely hear me because I'm away from the microphone. If I put the microphone from
yeah,
my camera,
yeah,
it
you got,
echoes everything, so that's why I'm not using it.
and
Liquid gold.
I got some of the slot invasion guides from Oscar at Slot Invasion. And those are really good. I really like the guides for the wood track because the blade is a little bit thicker, and
Yep.
I like that. It gives a little bit more stability. So they're right around the same thickness as a commercial type guide. So they work really well. I like the Slot Invasion. Really tough stuff. Um, you know, and they work. And you don't have to worry about what color the guide is out here because I have the infrared, so no issue.
Yeah, I like the slot invasion guys too. I got to get
Yep.
some.
Yeah, he makes Oscar makes some really some top shelf stuff, big quality. Uh,
Indeed.
well, just he's done a lot of stuff with some tires and stuff for the Carrera and everything else. He's done some good work. You know,
Okay, guys, can you see what I've done here? Oh hell. Hey, hang on a minute. No shit. Oh, did I say shit? Damn. Oh damn.
cheesesteak, yeah. Hmm. I do need a nacho machine.
Oh god. Yeah, that's what we need
Yeah,
when we come there as a goddamn nacho machine.
that's
Okay,
absolutely how we've managed to do this many events without one now is a good question. I
okay, can you guys see what I've got going on here? These are nested. One, two, three, four. You got four different ones. So
oh
now what I'm going to do is I'm going to solder. You just get it fluxed really good, and then so the solder will seep in, and it'll solder all four of those pieces of tubing together. So that's what I'm going to do right now. This is just for cheap bastards like me that don't want to buy a bushing. Don't be skimpy with the flux.
yeah, flow it in there. Yeah, the old
Like
the
I
old tri-tube. I got a car here. I'll get it out. Um, it's the old stinker chat.
I saw Swift slots in the chat earlier. I wish I was had his skill. He just whips out his lathe and makes whatever he needs. Oh, I need a bushing. Here we go. I'm gonna bust one
Yeah,
out.
yeah, right. Yeah,
I don't
I
have
used to
that
have a, I
skill.
used to have a lathe. I'm just too lazy.
Well, I had a lathe
Um,
too. I didn't know how to use the damn thing though. At
and
least
so
not with any skill.
this is the old tri-tube method here on this car here. It's just there's no bushings. This is the same thing you just built right there. I just used three tubes, but yeah, I remember 15 years ago, whatever had the old Harbor Freight lathe, and we had it built up and make everything, and it's just like I just really wasn't that fast. But then when wheels became more available, you know, my time is worth something. So I could make the wheel, but you know, instead of that half an hour while we were down here playing, I just open up a bag of wheels and
Yeah,
go.
I
But
agree.
but
And
that
the same
my
with
time is
bushings.
more
It's yeah, you buy them, you stick them in, you're done. You don't have to do all this, but
right. But at the same time, having your tools to make some things yourself is part of the fun. And
yeah,
then um, but back then, of course, we walked this. We walked to school uphill both ways in the snow. We didn't have any parts, so we would sit
yeah,
there and we would make our wheels because we didn't have a lot to choose from until Steve and Christian from Canada, and we all got together, and the CB Design wheels came out, and we had more variety in different sizes, And now we have all sorts of them, But I can remember when just trying to get a pair of slotted aluminum wheels was a task because nobody ever the dealers and everything were so restricted on how much they could order that they could never keep any in stock. You know.
right,
And you only had one wheel size. You could have any wheel you wanted as long as it was a 15 by 8.
yeah. Now, shit, got anything you want.
George's. This is an old 40, old sedan, based on the old Stinker chassis. So rail within a rail and a tri-tube method. It's actually the exploded view of this chassis is in the scratch building section on Sucker Corner.
Yep, that's one of the good ones, one of the oldies.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know about you guys, but the weather here is supposed to get pretty bad. We got some pretty bad storms rolling through. They're calling for some pretty high winds, stuff like that. So hopefully it doesn't get too bad here.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I saw it on the news. You guys are going to get nailed.
Yeah, like me, I have it made nowadays. All the ready-made parts. Well, yeah, the scratch building, everything else. It just shows the how our hobby has actually evolved and expanded so much in the last couple decades. And we really do. We have it made. We just um, um, scratch building chassis. I mean, this is just the old art form that we have been doing for many, many years. There's all sorts of 3D stuff and everything else, but it's just not as fun as soldering and creating your own. To me, just it's more fun doing it like that.
Yep.
So
Unless
you
you
can
do what
change
I
the
do.
toothpaste. Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, the I think Cartrick still uses toothpicks for axles as crooked as they are. Yeah. Oh.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I just did something I haven't done in a very long time. I'll
What'd
have
you
to show
do?
you guys. I guess I should show the mistakes as well as the good stuff, right?
Heck yeah.
Oh, sure.
Take all of them.
Okay. Well, there's a giant screw up right there. I soldered a goddamn axle to the freaking to the bushing. So now I got to heat it up, get the solder off this axle so I can get it out of the goddamn thing. Never fails. Only when you're on camera. That's when all this shit happens. I might have to heat up the torch.
Yeah, I would agree, Mark. It's a lost art. It's an art form. These chassis, that's what they are. They're uh, just artwork, like Strange Brew. Just bends a few wires and he just puts something together. And he just every time he brings something, it's something different, And then we just kind of build our own. I really simplified this for the video, but um, you know, just bending and making your own. It's just fun to do.
Yeah, it is.
Just fun to do.
If you don't solder the axles together.
Well, yeah. Hey, okay. You just made sure you didn't have any free play. Okay, really, really good. So
The tolerance is as tight as it can possibly be.
that's right. There you go.
And remember when I said be very generous with the flux? Maybe I was a little too generous. It's probably flowed all the way in there. I'm just going to have to go get the torch and unsolder that son of a gun.
Oh yeah, it's time to heat it up.
Yep, that's right, Tad. It's the beauty of live television. Always happens. That's when the car deslots or hits
Right.
the tile board or whatever, or you solder the
Or
shit
what?
together.
Or what? What was it? Uh, on my live that happened the other night, I took the Rebel Swat car out there
Oh,
and I started
yeah.
running it, and it was hard, and the damn tire was completely split, which
Yeah, that was
I've never
something
seen
you've
before
never.
ever. John
Right.
Albright and I were talking about that. We've never had one do that until I went live with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you'll probably never see it again either.
Never see it again. Right. Hey everybody, here's my Rebel Swat car. Here it is, shattered like a poodle shit in a peach pit, right here live on YouTube. So a lot of times 2 7s, 2 6s. It's usually pretty good, and that's exactly what we did um, on the showdown. Well in the game, and then but come race day, when you get 4 of these wide, you're touching tire, you're getting it erect. So just take it all. It's just all about fun. When you guys watch the race again, you'll know it's just we're just here for laughs and having a good time. We don't take it too seriously.
Okay, I'll be right back.
All right.
Gotta get a torch.
Yeah. Piano wire, right? Yeah, piano wire. It works. Yeah, it works great. Piano wire. I somebody asked the so you have just the brass setup, and then I just used some PVC, a little plumbing plastic here, and that's where I store my piano wire, different sizes like that. It's kind of a mess right there. There's the plastic screen you can get from Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever, for your screen doors. You can use that window screen in the cars to people the screen we put in them for the dirt. Some of the balsa wood there for body mounts, super lightweight body mounts and stuff like that. But I use those little tubes. So yeah, and the cool setup blocks they work great. I can tell you that having a good piece of steel. This is some
Well,
quarter-inch steel that I've had for a while, and it's great for setting up a chassis and checking it, making sure it's flat. A good piece of steel is good to have. As you can see, I'm working on a fly car right now, an old fly classic, and I've got some magnets here, and it's just kind of helping flatten it out because I want to keep the original chassis. I know a lot of guys like to do the 3D thing, but I like to try to keep the stock chassis just to keep the integrity of the car in question. But then there's times when I don't care about that. I'm going to build a chassis. So anyway, we'll get
got
back
it.
to the. All right, yeah, cool.
Yeah, all right, cool. I had to bring out the big guns to get it off of there.
Yeah, smoke break. Get a torch.
That's all I need is for my wife to come home and see me with a torch on in the living room.
Uh, oh, she'll understand.
Yeah, it's not anything new for her.
And some nachos, right?
That some bitch is hot.
I'll tell you what. I'm not gonna have nachos, but I think tomorrow night I'm gonna be doing some of the smashed onion burgers on the grill.
Oh man, that sounds good.
Yeah, I mean you gotta like onions. Um,
Oh yeah, who doesn't like onion?
yeah, it's 75% onions and 25% meat. If you look up the history of that, there's different versions of it, but a lot of it was, running low, the restaurant running low on beef to try to stretch it out to make sandwiches and threw a lot of onion at it. Ta-da!
Yeah,
Twice as big. But
nothing
I'm
wrong
gonna
with
make
that, man.
some
I
of
love
those.
onions.
I'm gonna make some of those on the grill coming up. I can't have it. I can have the nacho cheese. I just can't have the spicy stuff anymore. Ever since the the healing and the chemotherapy or whatever it just I can't have the capsaicin, the pepper. It lights me up, so I can't do spicy anymore. But I can do the mild stuff.
Yeah,
Of all the cheeses, you wouldn't think that would light me up, but that the cheese from Taco Bell, just this simple little cheese. Oh, that stuff, I'll drink a gallon of tea if I get too much of that.
I'll be damned.
I don't know why. It's just spicy to me. Smoked nachos. Oh yes. Let me tell you, there. I could throw uh, some pulled pork nachos at you. I'll tell you, those are good. We should do something like that for the showdown. See how much pulled pork we can bring down here. Yeah, I'm going right around 2.9. The cars are a little bit. They're not slammed. They're not like Le Mans Sports. They don't drive like that either. They're just a little bit slower. Now there's an idea. You can't find an interior. You could just make an interior tray out of a playing card. Just use a flat piece of plastic.
Here you
Um,
All right, boys, there you go. One chassis built right there.
just thin sheet plastic for sale sign, garage sale sign. That's an interior tray right there. Just cut it to fit.
You're too
Like Harry
damn
said,
fast, George.
playing cards right here. Yeah, I just got it. I mean, I still got to do Nerf bars, but here's playing cards. That's what you use for 1/32 interiors. I could use it on this card too, like Harry said. It's easy. Easy to buy playing cards. Are cheap.
Yep.
Well, that chassis is pretty much set. All I have to do is drill a little hole for the motor and then actually make mounts, which I didn't put mounts on that yet. I can use a
I
piece
have a
of
whole
strip brass,
lifetime interiors.
put across it to mount the body, and that's easy. So that's
Well, I'm
basically
not
it.
a
That'll
smash.
fit that 32 Ford. But hey, there you go. The tube and
I'm
tube
not.
method. That's a nice method right there.
It'll just have to be shortened up a little on the ends and
Yeah.
cleaned up. But other than that, yeah, it's ready.
Mm.
And of course, the front axle set. But I'll do that when a body gets. Haven't decided what I'm gonna put on it yet.
There's mine.
There you go. Yeah, hell.
So it's piano wire and just brass. But simple and effective. But that's basically what a mod chassis is, guys. It's not hard. The Showdown car, I think it's a little bit tougher because you have to mount the body. With mounting a modified body, it's easy. Just as
Yeah,
long
it's
as
a
you have it
lot easier.
resting on something and you can tighten it up, you're good. You don't need float on it like you do on the other cars. So it's a lot easier, in my opinion. But the thing is,
Yeah.
you have to give it a shot. The creativity part is when you start doing the motor. So on the headers, you could use solder. Like, what
Yeah.
size solder do you use, Harry, on your motors? And Dave, you use that what that
Uh, I
Dave gets real
I
fancy with tubes. I know you
I
do a good
use
job with the tubes.
if I want the headers to be chrome, I use the solder, but otherwise I use brass. But the one I used is man, I can't find it. Where the heck is it? Um, it is it's silver solder actually. It's a lot stiffer, but it's
Yeah, it
really
is.
thin,
You're right.
really thin. I don't just can't remember where the hell I put it.
I have silver
This is
solder. I used it one
this
time.
is typically what I use right here. Just a basic solder. It's like 1.5 mil, right? So it's just just a solder, and it's right around 153 millimeter diameter. Um,
I
Basic
use
solder
brass. You know, mine
or
these are on
brass.
this.
Brass.
These are brass on this car, but
I use the
these are solder on this one.
slotted box because it looks like carbon fiber. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 1/24. Just use um, just plastic, flat tray plastic, and just spray paint it. Um,
Four eyes. Yes, you could do this for 133, 143rd scale if you wanted to.
Oh yeah.
Just scale it down, make your chassis a little bit smaller, and use the
yeah, it's just
143 scale axles and gears and whatnot. But
that's
yeah, you could
scratch
do that.
building. That's scratch building. You can make it any. You can. You know. Um, Make it any size you want. I've seen guys build modifieds uh, years ago.
HO.
Guys building modifieds in 1/43rd scale for their track. Just they were using the SCX compact NASCAR chassis with the NASCAR wheels because they looked really good, and they were making um, bodies from die-cast cars that they back-casted made out of resin. You, you know, you, there's no limitations once you start soldering and measuring and making. You you can make it any size you want. All this is just really basics, easy platforms to start with, and then you add the rest. You know this is just kind of like the cake mix, man. You guys add the icing.
Here's
Yeah, it's
1/25th scale right here. And all I
yeah.
did
There's
was
one.
just started making something. Same thing with these cars. You can make them in 1/25th. I mean, this is a wire and
Yeah,
brass, and they run
1/25th,
great. These are really fun
1/43rd.
running cars. It's not that
Yeah.
hard.
Here you go. All right, this is this is a 132 scale chassis on my one of my hot rods. This is a 132 scale midget. Look how tiny it is. I bet you this would be perfect for a 130 or a 143rd scale uh, modified. No question. This would be perfect
Oh
for that.
yeah, big time.
I mean, it's just smaller wire and a smaller bracket, and it's yeah, totally doable.
As a matter of fact, a lot of the guys back then, they were taking the cheap, the little Dollar Tree, dollar store, little Arton type chassis, the battery operated car sets, for next to, and they were using those as chassis, and they were just grinding them up and
Yeah,
adjusting wheelbase to make them modified. So if you weren't comfortable with brass, but yeah, but you could build these any scale you wanted.
I wonder if I have.
All right, some pins. All right, way to go, Daryl. Good job. Yeah,
There you
yeah.
go, man.
You'll be putting it together in no time.
All right.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have fun with my 125th modified here.
Oh yeah, I can bring. We got some. We got the big cars too. Yeah.
Yeah, here's another good one for the modified. This is basically the ZZ Top car, the 34, the chopped top car. You know, he's another good one that you could chop up, make a modified out of. Another model kit that's still available. A little bit harder to find, but
Yeah, this is another example of Strange Brew, and he took the model kit body, and he started adding to it and making his own flares out of resin. And he likes to hand form things, but you know, if you're determined, you can just keep modifying. And this is just a resin body. It's back cast, and he just does his own thing. You know, even poured his own front tires. You know,
hey, Harry, do you recognize that body?
which one?
The one I'm showing right now.
34.
Oh, hold on. Let's see. Oh,
Look on YouTube. Whose car is that?
oh,
That's a Bob Taylor.
yeah,
That's a Bob Taylor.
that's right. It is. Sure, it is. Yeah. Okay, I remember that now.
Fun.
I got one here somewhere.
Good old Bob.
Oh, here's the, and this is the one that was missing the other night. But I got it back. Was the that one?
Yes, sir, it is, Daryl. 4ISPV, thank you. Daryl just ordered a jig. All right.
Oh yeah, the Georgia track is getting some laps on it now.
Oh yeah, the other one too. I already got rubber marks burning into that one too on Area 51.
Oh, I'll bet you do. Yeah.
I'm sorry if I haven't been looking at the chat, everyone. So if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them now on what I just did and what Dave just did. We just kind of were busy I was trying to do it. I know I can be talking because my mic was causing echoing issues. So on my phone. So if anybody has questions on what I did, all I did was pre-cut my stuff, pinned it, and you can see each time I was kind of measuring it to make sure that they're equal, on each of the axles. And then all I had to do with that is just make a body mount. Now those two top wires that are sticking out, I only did 2 points to mount the front axle because it's a modified. I could probably add more if I want. But those two sticking up, all I'm going to do is cut them off and then make them flat, and those will be gone. And then you put your motor there where the guide tongue is and put your body on, and there you go. Hey, look, Dave, looks like that tattoo could fit on your chassis.
I know, right? Just about. We've already built this car, though. That's the car that went to the hot rod.
Yeah, that's what's it? Private Malone.
37 Ford. No, that's no. This is Philippe de Bird.
Philippe de Bird. Okay, not Private Malone. That Private Malone was the Roadster. Okay, yeah, Philippe de Bird.
Private Malone Roadster.
So Daryl already ordered stuff. All right, Chris. Happy birthday to you, sir. Cool. Your grandson's there. That's important. I got 9 grandkids, so I know how that is. So go take care of business. Yeah. Cool.
Oh, excuse me.
By the way, we were talking about that Funtech putty. This is the Gorilla. This is the Gorilla stuff. a little stickier, and it's already kind of pre-grooved in little pieces. But Gorilla makes it too, just in case you guys were
Mounting
wondering.
putty. All right, I'm gonna check that
Yeah,
out.
yeah, it's just like silver old silly putty on steroids
Untack
is
and
what it is.
Loctite. Yeah, there's a Loctite
Same
stuff.
stuff. Yeah, it's just
So what do you use that for mainly? Just for what do you guys been using it for?
uh,
Explain to
it
everybody.
works good. I've used it for quite a few things. It works good for holding things while I'm painting them. Oddly enough, but like Harry showed the other night on these cars that have nowhere to put anything inside of them, it works good for weight.
Okay.
Right.
To
So I just buttoned it up, George. But
Yeah, you showed me that one time, and I just want to let everybody know what you were exactly using it for.
yeah,
So
it was. Yeah, you can put it inside the chassis, or but like in the Rebel Stock cars, I use it to hold the wires in place. Right.
yeah,
yeah,
so they
works good for
Um,
that.
right. And
that
if you
thing's
want
beautiful.
to, you can you can take that putty and you can form it and put it in your chassis.
Hmm.
Right around there, and it's better than clay. Clay works, but you can put it in there, and then if you don't like it, it's sticky enough where it stays. But you can also just take your finger and peel it out
And remove it.
if you want
Gotcha.
to.
All
So
right,
if you
cool.
didn't want to use the lead weight or whatever, it's this or the 3M, the blue stuff, whatever.
So
I have a
V2 is
mess here.
asking V2. You're asking me what did you use to trim out the sides of your slot car table? I'm not sure what you mean. You mean when I cut it? I used a skill soft. That's what you're
Oh,
asking?
you mean the side panel boards there, like
Oh, maybe he's
like
talking about
these?
where the yeah, where the controllers are held on is what you're talking about?
That's like one by
Yeah.
pine board. What I use.
Kind of made on mini shelf so you could put the blocks on it to clean the tires. If that's what you're talking
Right.
about, please verify, because I wanted to
Let me
make sure that's what you meant.
get my other. Every time I try to find it, where did it go?
E.W. Barker, how you doing there, sir? I just saw you
I
there.
had it the other day, and I can't find it. Oh, well, I'll put it here. Yeah, this will work. I'll get this over here. Put it back here and do some laps here with the cars. Get it in there.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I'm gonna do some laps too.
There we go. So yeah, we'll do some.
I'm gonna do some laps too.
Yeah. There we go. What's your lap times there, George?
Oh, I don't have my counter set up. Let me set it up.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Let me.
I think I think Dave's been doing some cool stuff with the lap tracker app, and now he's got the crossover in the track, making. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think so.
That's a great little app for people. Where was that thing 15 years ago?
Yeah, man, I love that. It works great, especially for what I'm doing.
All right, Terry, we're gonna get some lap times here.
Yeah. Well,
Oops. I don't know what I do. Not down here. Ooh. So far, I'm getting 2.8, 2.8 on the outside yellow lane.
Ask and you shall receive, Michael.
Oh. Monza. Two six. Two 633. Just lap. 2570.
You just wanted to see some destruction or what, Michael?
257 here. Is that when you're cutting it right there to make it a modified? Yep. Yeah, TrackMate. I like TrackMate. Cut up that Chevelle. D. Barker. Great George joined in late, trying to play catch up questions. I'm ensuing homebrew modifieds event 132nd. Strange brew, sir. Yes, sir. We were trying to get people to get into those babies. It's not a difficult build, as we did one on camera, and Dave did one, so it doesn't take much. You can add Nerf bars to the body or the chassis, and off you go, and
Okay,
add all the good stuff. I got 257, Harry, on my Monza. But you got you're 2 feet longer than I am, so
Yeah,
16 feet on 14, so
that's all right. So what was it? What?
257.
257.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
that's the little Monza, the one you
Well,
like.
that Monza hauls the mail too. That's a good job. 2838, 2801. I got a fast stop to 2794. So that's not bad for here. See, this there, it's 2777. Now, does the Monza have the long can?
No, it has a short can. Oh yeah, it does have a long can. Sorry, 17500 is the long can. That's right. I changed it to long can.
This one I
That's
put the short can in.
Yeah, you have the 18K, the short can.
Yeah. Yep. And
That's,
see, this
that
is
has
Bruce.
a long
He's
can.
got the long can. Yeah. He's got the long can Predator in here.
This is a 25 or the 17.5?
The 17.5.
You got the 17.5?
The modified is the 18K Predator or the 17.5.
Non-ball bearing motor.
Right, non-ball bearing. Just those two motors.
Oops.
Yep. I
could tell the difference with his car. I could tell the difference with his car just with the little torque difference here with the long can.
Yeah, Brew knows how to really make those cars work well. He's been doing it for so long.
God, this thing stings. Until I wreck it, you know.
Here, Dave just cut up a Chevelle to make it a modified. That's cool. That'd be nice to see a modified Chevelle.
Yes, why not, man? In fact, we're gonna get rid of the door frame.
There you go. I'll look better that way without that.
If there's a modified, it wouldn't have that door frame in there.
No.
I remember when I was.
That looks better.
I can remember when I was 50. Just barely, but I remember.
I think I'm gonna go with this body, boys. This is gonna be my modified this year.
There you go. That'd be cool to see that one.
I don't see why not. That's a fine model right there.
Yeah, this will work. I gotta see if I got.
Well, that's the spirit of it right there. Make it work.
I'll get a firewall made. I'll have to see if I got a piece of evergreen plastic.
Oh yeah. Or playing card or or
Yeah, but it's going to need something more in the front to hold it sturdy. I'm going to build a like Brew does. I'm going to build a nice round firewall
firewall.
there.
Yeah, right. A little bit thicker plastic.
But
Right.
this chassis, the chassis is perfect. That's like perfect size.
Yeah.
And you know what?
That's cool.
I think I'm gonna cut
The hood.
the center of the hood out and make that the
Yeah.
and
Because you got the
put a
collar sticking out already.
yeah put a air cleaner poking out through the top of it. Yeah, chop 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 chop.
Gonna be a modified trunk, Tad says.
A modified what?
Trunk.
It will be a modified trunk. I'm gonna cut the trunk off too in a minute. Well, not the trunk. I'll cut the rear valance off of it. That'll so.
Yep. Get rid of that. Oh.
Then I'll have to do like Brew. I mean, Brew even puts a fuel cell under his cars.
Oh yeah, he does that. Yeah, here's the. You talk about the Bob Taylor. You take the big old car. There's the. You recognize
that
that?
was cool.
Let me scroll up and see. Hold on, and it's a delay badly. So let me see what you're doing there. So keep it there.
That looks cool.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, yeah. That's the 57 or the 58 Plymouth. Is that what that is? 57.
Yeah, that's the old Carrera car, and
Yo,
Oh, that's right. Damn, I didn't even
it's
realize
the old
yeah,
it's the old Carrera petty cars, and
Eddie
then
car.
Taylor, and then we chopped it up, right?
Yeah,
Took the fenders off, and this hood, uh, you should recognize it because it came out of a 125th scale kit. It's just been
yeah.
sanded down. See?
Oh yeah, it's
Uh,
perfect. I remember
That
the
looks
cars.
cool. That looks really
let me
cool.
see if I have that kit. The kit.
Ha! This is gonna be cool. See, you guys are watching live. We're creating a modified here. This is what you all got. This is all what you got to do.
Yeah,
Chop.
there you go. Let's make it happen. Yeah.
There. Yeah, there you go, George. How's that?
Oh, that looks cool. That looks really cool.
That'll work.
Nice. Oh, that's really nice.
And that's what a lot of guys did. Those modifieds. They use use a hunk out of the hood to make the hood over their little engine or whatever engine they're using or whatever. It's ingenuity at its finest there. Yeah. This is gonna be yeah. Kind of liking this. There you go, guys. You guys got the scoop. Now everybody knows what I'll be sending in.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's the way to do it right there. That's just the kind of out of the box. Just okay, I'll take this car and do it. Yeah, use what you
Right.
got.
It's right. Use what you got. That's what they did. The guy building the modified went to the junkyard and went, "Oh, that one looks good. Let's kick it." And by the time he got done with it, there wasn't much of the original left. So
Bottom of the chassis. I think George, Anthony Bateman wants to see the bottom of the chassis.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm gonna switch my phone. Or excuse me, my
There's
camera.
always something you can use. Yes, never. That's right, Tad. Tell him. Golden rule: never throw anything away.
yeah. Oh God, no.
Find
Never.
a drawer. Find
Hey,
something.
look
Don't
what I
throw
have
it
right
away.
here. these come in handy because guess what's in there? Every piece of brass I ever cut off of anything is in this stupid little tin, and I use it. I use it all the time.
Yep.
And I got a drawer down here full of, you know, crappy bodies and everything else that no good for nothing. But guess what? They come in handy for this kind of stuff, so I don't throw anything away.
Never. Never. Yep.
I mean, I don't know if you guys can see. Is it right here? Oh, it's just out of camera shot here. I keep. They've got this, you know, little stuff here. You know, driver heads and wheel inserts, and I don't throw it away because I might need it.
That's right. That's right. You never. I have similar little cubbies. These little plain old tackle boxes, right?
Tackle boxes full of brass parts. Yep.
Right. There's parts here that Dave and I used 10 years ago. It's still in here. Okay. Little tiny pieces because you'll put together a car and you go, man, I know I have this bent somewhere, pre-bent, and then there it is right there. See, never throw it away.
Nope.
So all those little pieces you don't know, but you're like, oh yeah, I wish I had that. Well, I do have it. Oh, there it is. There's an old chassis you don't see. Look at that thing, huh?
Now I gotta see if I got it.
Why I have it in there? Why? Because you don't throw anything away. That's why.
That's right.
So
Because you know what'll
yeah,
happen? As soon as you throw it away, that's when you'll need it.
that's when you need it. Yeah, and I have the same thing here. I got the brass, the tubes in here, just longer pieces that are still on the board on the cardstock there, but some of it is still loose, and I save it all. Always save it. Never throw that shit away. It's like, how many paintbrushes do I need? I don't know, but I'm not throwing them away. I use them all the time.
Oh, don't get me started on paintbrushes. And then you went and sent me more paintbrushes a week or so ago. I was like, damn it, I need these like a hole in the head. But I'll use
Well,
every
these are
damn one of
just,
them.
but they're just disposable. Like I use these for the flux or whatever, and then the plastic, and then I just throw it away or whatever. You know, it's just like popsicle sticks and stuff. You never throw. I just
Yeah.
keep saving them. You know, I don't know. You never know
No.
when you're going to need this kind of crap. Hey, here's
Yeah.
another interior tray, by the way, is the yield index card, right?
Oh yeah, those
So
were good too.
yeah, you can write, make a nice uh, nacho recipe on here, or you can make an interior tray, right?
Nacho recipe.
Yeah,
But see, look, this car. I mean, this is okay. Instead of cutting up a nice new piece of styrene,
right.
why this was scrap. But I mean, it's got glue on it from making a mold box because I use it for making that with. But guess
Sure.
what? That comes off real easy, and you reuse this piece of
Yeah,
styrene.
you're damn right. Look at all the old plastic that you keep. By the way, you talk about being cheap and everything. See your little paint sticks that you get at the hardware store?
Oh
A
yeah,
nice flat piece of wood like this. Well, let me tell you what. You cut this in half, and they make great body mount plates, right?
yeah,
And they cost me nothing. So,
and that's right, and they're free, even the
so,
best price.
so there's cheap. Yeah, all this whole plastic, man.
Look like a hoarder, Tad says. But it's all
Yeah,
in
I
the
am a
slot,
we
one of the
hoarder.
are.
slot cards.
We are.
I am.
We
You
are.
have to
We're
be.
hoarders. You
I'm a
know,
proud hoarder.
seeing all the tubing.
Yep.
Here's my lead collection, which consists of old roofing lead sheet. See the sheathing right there?
Yep.
And then I get the 3M tape. And I've only had these pieces for 25 years. Because they don't use that anymore. Old tackle box trays laying around. Yeah, right, Tad. That's exactly. Use them. They'll do the job. Yeah, I'd say we all got a little bit of hoarder in us, right?
I
Have
hope
to.
Sure.
so.
You know, you have to start collecting slot cars, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, look at that. I bet you I haven't ran this in 3 years, 4 years, and here it is. Bob Taylor Special. Big old Plymouth.
That thing's cool. That's real
Yeah,
cool.
yes. This car actually might outweigh one of Michael Squire's. I'm not sure.
That what? That's
It could.
132nd, obviously, right? And
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
one
yeah,
thirty
it's the
two.
132nd Plymouth. So we were saying there was a petty one. I like how it
Yeah.
has the little wings on it. That's a really cool idea.
Uh huh.
And the headers the way they stick out.
Yep. Bob had quite the imagination.
All you guys do. Just
And
depends
Billy
on
Barker, I'm a hoarder too.
what you're doing there, you know. But yeah, you wouldn't want to try to find one of those bodies. Those bodies were easy to come by back then because they came out with the red street version and the black version, and well, nobody wanted those silly old street cars, so we could get
They
them for
couldn't give them
25.
away.
We could get them for like $25, so we used them. Now they're 200.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
they
need to
couldn't give
find a
those things
body.
away. Remember, eBay was flooded with those things. They were all over
That's
the
right.
place.
That's why could get them because everybody hated them because they were narrow and the cars. Everybody's like, "Oh, they suck," and I'm like, "Okay." Like, well, fine, you know.
It's a diamond in a rough, and nobody knew about it.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
That's like those NASCAR snap tight things or those 125th NASCARs. Those things are like all over the place and they're cheap. That's why he built
Right.
that one for
Yeah, the
that
body, and
reason.
Tad is right. They are thick. Um, they are a little thick and everything, but really, um, sometimes in this series, that's a good thing because when we start flipping and hammering and beating around, it's nice to have something a little sturdier.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, Gary Dunmore paint stick or a paint stick. Yep. For body mounts. That's the old trick, balsa wood trick that Harry did. He's got a couple videos.
yeah,
You guys go to the Scratch Built section of the Home Racing World main site. It's called Scratch Building. All those videos are there. So you guys go there, you'll find every video to do everything. That's why we compiled all that and put it in that one section. So you could go one click and look at all the videos and learn there.
yeah.
Even Harry's 32nd Ford build is there as well. The one he was talking about, that little brownish gold one, that's there also.
The 3232.
Yep, 3232.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of guys. Michael has done some
Yep,
great
Michael's videos are
videos.
there. Tad has a few.
Dave Scratch Build. There's so much resource out there for you guys. Just doing the Googles, just clicking on it, and there's just a lot of good work out there by guys that have been sharing a lot of stuff. So
We like to share.
We want to get
yeah,
more people involved in the scratch building.
yeah,
That's the whole idea.
right.
There's nothing wrong with
Mhm.
buying cars. I mean, we love them, Rebel slots, but the thing about
Yep.
this is that you could create your own, and that's what makes it cool. Like for example, that
Right.
the Carrera body Plymouth, that's pretty cool. That's a creation there. That's a one-off car. Nobody's gonna have anything like that. Guarantee
That's
you
right.
that. You're welcome, Anthony.
We're trying to find. Oh.
Hope this is okay. You guys are watching me do this.
No, well, they're watching you how to tear a body up and make it a modified. So yeah, that's the way it should be. That's how you do it. Not too many people see that.
That's cool. That's how you end up with a slot car. And when you can't buy, you just do it yourself. Hey. Yeah.
So I post a link there that goes to the Home Racing World website that has all the scratch building videos. There's a link there. Click that if you want to see everything.
Right. That's great, George. Thanks. That's really cool. You guys have done a lot of good work building that page, that resource up for people.
Yep.
Not you guys. That was all George. George gets all the credit for that. He
It's
worked
everybody's
it.
videos, though. That's what that
No,
is.
you put them all in one place. You're the one. That's all you, brother.
Yeah.
See, everybody likes what you're doing, Dave. You're just seeing
Well,
how
I'm
you
not even
create
proud of
one
you.
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? This is what happens to me. My brain just kicks in, and it's like I can't. Then it's like, okay, I get an idea in my head. It's like I got to get this out of my head, so now I got to do it. So that's what you're.
That's
That's what you're seeing.
it's true though. That's how shit happens, right? You know.
Yep.
You know.
It's just what happens to me. I have to do it.
You know, like when we have the videos when Steve, you know, when the Minnesota Twins are here,
Yep.
and you give Steve Stone a cheeseburger, and 5 minutes after that, he's digging through the model kits,
Yep. Stone. Yeah,
and
I've seen him do that
yeah,
2 times.
and
He builds
sniffing
a
shit
car in
out,
a
going,
few.
"Oh wait, I want to build this," and then a half
Yep.
hour later, he's got a prototype. He just didn't know what he wanted to do yet. It just hadn't come to him, And
That's
Dave
how I
does
was.
that a lot of times with his street cars.
That's how all my cars come to life. I don't. Most of them aren't planned. At least, I mean, not. Maybe generally they're planned, but not. They're not fully laid out. Like, okay, I'm going to build this car, and it's going to be exactly like that. They just sort of evolve.
That's how all those chassis that you build too, they evolve as well.
That's why they're all
how you
different.
doing? Yeah, Bruce Brecky. I'm working on a zipper top car. It is heavy. You need to figure out how to take some weight out. How heavy is it, Bruce? How many grams is it? What do you consider heavy? Because if it's like 150 grams, I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, that's not heavy.
Yeah.
What?
Bruce
What's
Brecky
that?
he says his zipper top is heavy, but I asked him how many grams is it. Did you weigh it?
Oh.
He's worried about it being too heavy. You know, having a pretty heavy car does help, though. It keeps it planted more, especially a land barge, because it tips more because it's a longer and a larger car.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I had to add weight to the one I gave you there, Harry. I had to weight to that because it was tipping too much.
Right.
197 grams.
That's not heavy.
Nah, I wouldn't worry about that,
Really?
Bruce.
Not for that.
197 grams. Yeah, I wouldn't trip off that. Does it hang in the corners well? If it's hanging in the corners well, when you're going around there and it's just sliding out, that's good. If it's tipping over, that's when you kind of worry if it needs more weight. I think you're worried about speed, is what it is.
Baby. Yeah, let's whatever. Let's see what we have here for weight.
There you go. You got my car. There you go, Bruce. We're gonna weigh these ones. Mine is right there, number 27. That's an H&R chassis.
Yeah, this is H&R chassis.
That has weight in it.
Get that back. 231 grams.
Here you go,
Oh,
Bruce.
yeah.
It says it's running off the track. So what do you mean? It's just falling off, or is it just tipping over? Yeah, see, 230 grams. I had to wait to that.
231.
Bruce is the lightweight.
Yeah, 197 grams.
Yeah.
That's pretty
And
light.
this is my scrap build. So this is the old Plymouth here. Hold on. Set that up. I didn't add any weight to this yet, but it's still 177 grams. So it's not that bad. Yeah, this has got some weight to it here.
Oh
and it
yeah.
goes fast. It's fast mover. Need to run it a little bit.
231, and you said my cars are heavy.
Yeah, this. Oh yeah, this thing is planted. Let me tell you what. You get. See, the thing about it is, in combat, when we're out here and we're beating and banging and smacking around in it, a car with that extra weight that stays in the slot could end up meaning winning or losing.
Yeah.
See, you got a lightweight car, but if somebody taps you and knocks the crap out of you, well, that's where having a real true lead sled, man.
Yep, that one is.
Oh yeah. Hey, this thing's running great, nice and smooth.
All
Yeah.
right, Bruce, you're fine. Just what Michael said there. Make sure your axles are parallel. Make sure you have some body float.
Yeah.
You got to tune it a little bit, and then just make sure your guide height, your guide is and your wheels are barely touching. That's important. You got to look at those
Body
things.
body float is very important in these
Yep.
big cars. I couldn't get my car to run good, and then I figured out a way to incorporate some float into it, and all of a sudden it woke up. So it's like, okay, I'm ready to send it in now.
It holds on good. And there's a video on that car too, a build I did on that. That's also in the scratch build section for H&R chassis. And Harry's done a few of them too.
Oh, damn! Tell you what.
It's
Harry
a
breaking
hammer
shit
now.
Heck yeah! This thing's got some.
Remember what was it? What was it? Scott Culp's car that got toppled over. And what was the other one that the green and blue Lambarge or what it was? I can't remember. That thing got beat up so bad.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It got tore up, man.
Yeah, but who the hell sent that in, man? We kicked the
It was
crap
pretty,
out of that
but
car.
it was
like
pretty.
It was
when
like
it left.
every lap we knocked a piece off of it. There
you go, 4i. Float like a butterfly.
So let me go get the drive-through special.
Okay. Bruce, I use the commercial guide, the copper stuff, basically the regular commercial stuff, which you find on commercial tracks. That's the braid that's on that car.
Yeah, you can use the Coford, H&R.
Yep, Coford, H&R, Mid-America.
Mid-America, it doesn't matter. Good, like these are just the standard commercial. These are just the Coford or low profile. It doesn't matter. Or just the guide that comes with the H&R guide that comes with the chassis is just fine. Yeah. Works just fine.
I did that video just so it'd be easier for everybody. Yep, there's the NASCAR one I sent you.
Yeah.
That was the McDonald's special cars.
So you're using the standard plate here with this slot invasion where you put a tube there.
That's the tube method I used in the video that I did.
Right. Yeah. That's great.
Jeff G. My barge is 170.
Right. Yeah. Hardtop 195, 195 grand. That's fine.
Yep.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
That looks good, Dave. You made a firewall right there.
Yeah, that'll work.
What
I think.
You do?
Made a firewall.
Oh man.
There's the NASCAR.
I was messing with it the other night. It's cool. I got that body you sent me. I got to get it on a chassis.
I'm gonna build this. I'm gonna be Bruce style this time. Something new.
He's gonna be impressed with that one.
Sound like the dentist over there.
Yeah. Mac tonight. There we go.
There you go.
Yep. Wow. Cool.
Let's see what this baby weighs in. And by the way, George, when you mail this, when you mailed those cars to me, thank you for this beautiful clock.
That was
It's
yours. I'm
awesome.
returning it.
Let's see how much this thing. Let's see what this weighs here. Let me get
Four
it
eyes.
out.
The glue I was using. Is that what he's talking about?
Yeah, what kind of glue was that you're using?
The kind of glue I only kind of glue I use. Bob Smith.
Bob Smith, yeah. That's good stuff. You get that any hardware store.
175.1.
175 for
And
that one. No interior though on that one.
and this is the kicker.
175.1.
It just kicks it off. Like you put the super glue on and hit it, spray it with this, and it's dry
Activator.
instantaneously.
Yeah, activates it. That's what you use to build the racetrack scenic stuff. You put that together and you glue it and then you spray it and it hardens it.
And I got some of that stuff that Tad recommended, and it works.
Yep.
It does
That
not
video
fog the
doesn't
window.
fog the window. That's a video that we put also on the Scratchbuild page that Tad
Yep,
did.
that is some
That's a
good
good
stuff
one.
right there.
CA glue, yes, CA glue. It's a CA glue with an activator.
Yep.
You can
It's
get
on
that at Hobby Lobby too.
Amazon.
Oh, Amazon. That's where you go.
Amazon has it. You know, just about every quality hobby store in the world carries Bob Smith stuff.
Yep.
It's like the standard for the model airplane guys, the guy that build RC airplanes.
Yeah, they use a lot of that, don't they? Dope. And all that.
Yeah, Bob Smith. Yeah. It's not cheap, but it works fantastic.
Michael, my zipper top is light, 153, but needs an interior. He says.
Well, that's most of the weight. I think the interior of mine weighs more than the car. Man, now I'm excited. Now I gotta order some wheels and shit so I can finish this car.
That's 132nd, right? That body looks like it.
Yeah, it's 132nd. It is a here. I'll show you.
The Chevelle body from the Carrera, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it right there. The Carrera Chevelle body.
Ah,
Is it? Oh, that's.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
That'd be a good sportsman car too.
Yeah.
It would. That's what the Three Amigos car is that I sent in. That's
That's
one
right.
of those.
That is that one. I forgot the yellow and the
Yep.
white one.
That is that's a Norb body. Norb. In fact, I got to bring that back when I come in July to give that
Give
body
it back to
Norb.
Norb. Yeah, Norb sent it to you, didn't he? The Chicago
No,
body.
he sent it home with me when I was out there.
Oh, really? Okay, that's right. When you went out there. And...
Well, what I really need to do is cast a few bodies because that's the whole point of it. So Norb could build some cars. So I got to bring Norb some bodies.
Okay. That car looks pretty good. Looks sharp for a Ford Taurus.
Yeah, I love it. It's cool.
Oh yeah, hell no, it looks great.
You guys got to build yours now, so we can race them when we get there.
I know.
I'm gonna do that very thing. As a matter of
Add it
fact,
to
I
the
ordered a chassis because I was gonna do the stretch building, and then I'm like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll get into the H&R. So just to make it simple,
Yeah, there you go. H&R would be perfect for that.
Yeah, this thing's on, man. It's this is why we gotta do the 80s, 90s.
NASCAR. Yep.
NASCAR.
And 125th. That'll be bad right there. That'll be some bad models right there because there's a lot of them.
Oh, you bet.
That's what we need to do in the next one.
That'd be great. Yeah. Yeah, that's super cool. All right. I hope everybody got a kick out of watching those cars come to life and Dave's epiphany there.
Yep.
Hey, I got it all, dude.
That's gonna be good, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And you showed how to make the most the tightest axle to bushing fit ever. Just
Yeah, zero clearance.
Zero tolerance.
zero free play axle.
Yeah,
You
there
can't get
is
it
no
any better, folks.
There's no preload on it whatsoever.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's like this. It's like all the ancient alien stones that Punto Punto, right?
Yeah, Machu
South
Picchu.
America.
Machu Picchu.
Yeah,
Machu
yeah.
Picchu. Yeah, that's it right there.
Which just that site alone proves that we're not alone. But I won't go into it.
Don't get us started on aliens.
Tad's in on the NASCAR thing for the next one.
What's that?
Excellent.
Would you like to build one, Ted?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
sure
kits,
you
you
would.
guys, those kits
Do you
are
need?
cheap all over the place. They run
Do
from like under 30
do you
bucks
need
to 20 bucks to 15
right.
sometimes. I
And,
got a
Mine
bunch
right
of them
here.
here. I
and
bought a
if for
bunch and I
some
went on a binge.
if for some ridiculous reason, Tad, that you can't find a body, okay? If you can't find a NASCAR, okay, just let me know, okay?
Hey,
We'll
Dottie.
take care of it,
Hey, Daddy.
okay? So just in case
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't find one, I know a guy. That's all I'm gonna say.
Dottie, how were those ribs?
Oh, you guys had ribs. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Rich.
Dottie had ribs. He sent me a picture, sucker.
Oh,
His
I like
his mom his mom and dad are out here visiting from Ireland, so he brought made him
Oh,
some rib.
these
is
kits
that right?
right here are running cheap. So you guys know these kits. All these kits on eBay are cheap. If you want to build one
Yeah.
just for the hell of it, just because they're cool and they come with the decals, or if you have to order decals, you get them from Patos if these are old. I got lucky with that one, but there's a lot of these cars and they're not very expensive in 125th scale if you want to do a NASCAR 125th scale.
Don't forget slicks decals.
Yep, slicks decals too. That's right.
You buy 3 sheets, you get one free. The quality is second to none, and you can create your own. You don't have to make to mimic a real. You can make it look like it if you wanted to. So they've got some of the best 124th, 125th detail sheets made.
Yep. Also, the 132nd NASCARs are a lot out there too that aren't too bad. The snap tight ones. That was a fun
Right.
build. I really like building that Maxwell House car. That was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, right.
And the one Dave did and you did, that was a good proxy. That was fun. Really like how
Oh
those
yeah.
all ran. They're beautiful cars that everybody brought in.
I forgot about that car. It's still at Harry's. We'll have to race those when we get there in
Oh
July.
yeah. Yep,
Yeah.
there they are. Those are cool.
These were great. These were fun. You're right. This was a fantastic series. It still is. They're easy to build. They're fast.
Yep.
You know. Yeah, this Maxwell House. I love that coffee, man. That looks good.
That's what we were saying. Coffee, cigarettes, cereal, and booze.
That's right, man. That's
That
right.
was
We
America
had it
back
going on.
then. I don't know what
Damn
they. I
right.
don't think they have any booze cars anymore. Too
And
PC
motor
now.
oil. Yeah, you know,
They have Viagra
yeah,
though,
no,
don't they still?
I don't
yeah,
even think it was a
right.
Viagra car.
Yeah, we can't advertise cigarettes, but we can advertise Viagra.
Right.
Hey, Dusty.
Yeah.
How you doing, Dusty? It's Dusty Ford, Marty's brothers here. No problem.
Hey,
We're just did a modified build. Dave and I did one, real quick one.
now you got me running this. See, I'm not getting anything put away. I'm taking more
You
crap
taking
out.
more stuff out?
I
Yeah.
keep digging. I've been sitting there putting things in the background. I've been putting them away from dragging them all out, and I'm dragging out more. That's all right. These cars are fast. They're fun to build. Um, yeah.
Oop, lost your camera.
Hey, Dusty.
Nope, we lost Harry. I think his camera.
Uh-oh, we did. That's all right. This old man's got to go use the little boy's room.
You can text him and tell him that we lost him, and then we could just end it. Because I think his
Yeah.
phone dropped out. It may have ran out of power or something because it was working and boop, went out.
The bladder's floating, so
Yeah, he dropped out somehow. That was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know it was a little long. 2 hours we've been on, so I think we're gonna call it. I think the cars that Harry pulled out finally killed his camera. So
Yeah, I think so too. But that's all right.
oh, there it
Yeah,
is
I
right there.
think.
Yeah, phone died. See? Yeah, his phone died. That's all good, Harry. We're
Oh,
gonna end it right here. Thanks, man. Well, I want to thank you guys for coming over. Appreciate it. You'll be
had
down
fun
there
tonight, guys.
Vicksboro next week, Dusty? Oh, you could come by if you want. I don't know if you're going to, but that's kind of a. I know you get busy with doing the races and stuff. So, yeah, it was fun, Harry. Thank you very much for joining. That was good. So, but, yep. All right. Thanks,
Yeah,
Dave. That was good
yeah.
live.
Hey,
Really
no, thank
appreciate it.
you. It was
All
fun.
right. Okay, you guys. You have a good one. Like I always
See you
say,
guys later.
take care and have fun racing there. Have a good one. See ya.